While Kenyan coffee continues to command a premium price on international markets, it is mostly used for blending, with very few single-origin Kenya coffees on sale globally. One of the few out there is Kavinya Bradley, whose brand of Kenya coffee, Great Parade, sells out of San Francisco in California in the United States. She spoke to Peter Wakaba about what it takes to crack the global market.
Kavinya Bradley is a person with years of experience behind her. She has worked in, well, various different markets, including, of course, the Americas, and she is the CEO at a brand called Great Parade, which she will be talking to us about and how that ties in with the conversation about Kenyan coffee. Now, karibu sana.
Asante sana. Peter, thank you for inviting me to this forum.
Yes.
I believe it's one of many series we're going to have.
Yes.
Me in Kenya,
Yes.
and I have taken on the Kenyan coffee sector because I believe we are at the epicenter of, and the need to revive it.
Yes.
And by revival, I'm bringing in the concept of farm to cup.
Yes, so let's start at the beginning. The
Yes.
fact that for many, many years, Kenyans have grown coffee,
Yes.
did the world's best, but for many, many years, they've not gotten the, well, commensurate returns from what their product has been. Most of them are really disconnected from the value chain.
Correct.
Indeed, have been subsidizing the entire globe in terms of production, sending out their product and maybe getting paid much less.
Exactly.
And much later. Now, you have said you're taking on this sector. Let's start at the beginning. What exactly have you been doing so far?
So we are re-engineering the idea of direct trade. And direct trade simply means go work directly with the farmer. Remuneration goes directly to the farmer. So what it means is we try to eliminate the number of players that come in touch with the, I guess, compensation that goes to the farmer. By so doing, the farmer ends up getting a lot more than you anticipate. The other concept also is taking fair trade a couple steps higher. Fair trade has a minimum price that you pay the farmer, which
Yes.
is $1.40, and we definitely go way above that. I mean, in cases, we'll get an AB for higher than even $2. In situations like that, the farmer actually end up getting more. However, the other avenues we've noticed when it comes to compensation,
Yes.
we have to do a lot more with helping the farmer because paying them is not sufficient
Yes.
to making sure that you get the benefits of sustainability.
And let's talk about the Kenyan value chain, the fact that for years it has been sort of closed, has been heavily regulated. They have been required to go through various bodies to get their coffee onto the world market.
Yeah.
Have you been able to find an alternative, especially knowing that you have your own brand that is on sale globally through the US market?
The introduction of the second window, in a way, has been beneficial to facilitate direct trade.
Yes.
However, due to certain quote-unquote regulations, certain players have come in and have sort of dominated that market, making it a little bit difficult for smaller players to come in.
Yes.
So to be able to be competitive then, we're coming in and working with the farmer more than just price.
Yes.
We have this vision and mission in my company where we're talking about redistribution of dividend.
Yes.
And that is a play on what I've done on the finance side, having been a portfolio manager. I'm trying to borrow from that principle and making sure that we give the farmer enough, either in a trust fund or in terms of subsidizing best farming practices, social programs that are necessary in the farm. I mean, bottom line, we need to have tangible ways of empowering our farmers and their communities.
Let's talk then about the fact that for many, many years, Africans have farmed coffee, have become disillusioned. At one point, our sector almost literally collapsed. And then the children have come in and said, we don't want anything to do with this sector. How then do we start to get the youth to bring them back into this sector, especially because this is the only way to make it sustainable?
That is a wonderful question, and it has a lot of tentacles to answer it. So
Yes.
I will be as concise as I can be. The future of coffee lies with the youth.
Yes.
Our parents who are coffee farmers are now older. bless their souls, because when I go to the farm, I will have a 70, 80-year-old farmer walk with me up the hills of Mount Kenya to show me the farms. Now, I've spoken to the younger generation, and most of them are disenfranchised.
Yes.
And the incentives in the coffee sector is not there. One of the factors actually driving the interest in the coffee sector is, one, we have an improving economy in Africa, and I'll use Africa in general. And as the youth comes in line with better opportunities and job opportunities, the coffee sector needs to rise to be competitive with that. And also bring them in through, the value chain of farm to cup is quite large and quite expansive,
Yes.
as you know. So we can bring them in various angles, not necessarily just farming.
They should be able to plug in at various different levels. Now, on the same note then, there are various different products that come out of coffee. Indeed, you can value add in so many different ways that then this creates various job opportunities. Now, let's talk about the stakeholders and the fact that there are so many different players in this thing. Have you been able to reach out to any? Who do you think will be the people that can help drive this conversation and the change that we're talking about?
I think the local, and I believe the local stakeholders should set pace, an example to the world of how Kenyan coffee, first and foremost, should be appreciated and the experience we create. I've been in Kenya back and forth, and I've been in various situations, without naming names, where I've yet to experience a good cup of coffee. We can basically start with that. Be it transportation, be it local restaurants, where I believe at the end of the day, coffee should be an experience, and it should not be an experience that should start at the farm. And I'll say this, we always say farm to cup, and then the farm tends to be origin, and then farm cup tends to be international. Why can't cup be local?